What are the 7 steps? Direction and center. Step 2. Left, right side of the box. Three. Top, bottom. Four. Asymptotes. Five. Vertices. Six. Seven. Both sides. All right? So, now let's talk individually about those steps. Okay? Direction. How do I tell the direction of opening? The do-o-wo-wo. The D-double-O. Colin, is that hand up? Okay, what do you got, buddy?
If the x is like if it goes x squared minus y squared, it's left and right.
Okay. So if it's x squared minus y squared, it's left and right.
Y squared minus x squared is
Up and down. Kind of make a grumpy face. Get it? See the grumpy face? Came up with that in the last class. Grumpy face. Okay? And the center is where? Where's the center? Where's the center? Where in the equation? H comma K. Okay. Left and the right side of the box. How do I find that? Look under the x squared term, and you'll find what? What do you find under the x squared term? You find a squared. Take the square root of, so what's the square root of a squared? A, right? So you go a, left, and right from the center. Okay. Top and bottom, how do we find the top and bottom of the box? So which one comes under the y squared? B squared. Square root of b squared is b. Okay. So then it's b up and down from the what, Aaron? A squared is always under x. B squared is always under y. Okay. Asymptotes. How do we find the asymptotes? Again, asymptotes. How do I find them? When you mouth it, I can't hear you. It's in your notes. They're the diagonals of the box. what is the slope always? What's always the slope of the two diagonals? Plus or minus b over a. So the slope, one slope is going to be positive b over a. The other slope is going to be negative b over a. Okay? And then if corners of the box are on the y-axis, we can use those as our y-intercepts. If the center is on the y-axis, we could use that as our y-intercepts. But if not, then we've got to use point-slope formula. Okay? Vertices. Where do I find the vertices of my hyperbola? Of whichever side, if it's up and if the parabola's going up and down from step number 1, then it'd be the top and the bottom midpoints. If it's left and right, it's going to be the left and the right midpoints. Yep. But it's the midpoints of the box sides. And that one's depending upon if it's up, down, or left and right. Okay. Drawing is drawing, right? Okay. Remember, it's not a parabola. As it goes farther and farther out, it approaches the asymptote. Okay? It's not a parabola where it keeps growing or keeps, going away from the asymptote. It gets closer and closer to the asymptote. And lastly, how do we find the foci? And in there we're looking for C, right? We solved that equation for C because then C is the distance from the center to the foci. Okay? And again, if it's left and right, we add that C value to our X part of the center. If it's up and down, we add it to the Y part of our center. Okay? All right. You will need 3 graphs today. Okay? So the first one is this. If you don't have graphs, they're over here. Probably. Why are you yelling at me?
I'm not yelling at you.
It sounds like you're yelling at me.
You're the one that can't get.
Alright, so y plus 3 quantity squared divided by 25 minus x minus 2 quantity squared divided by 4 equals 1. Okay? First step, opening. Which way does it open? Up and down because y squared comes first. Okay? Y squared minus x squared, so that's an up-down opening hyperbola. Where is the center of this hyperbola?
2, -3.
2 comma negative 3. A value. A value is 2. So I go left and right 2 from the center. B value. So I go up 5, 2, 4, 5, down 5, 2, 4, 5. Now I can draw my box. Pretty close. What's up? Yes. Now what? Not vertices yet. What do I got to draw in? I'm drawing my diagonals. What do you think? Give you another chance. Okay? So I should come up with my equations of my diagonals right away. What do I know as the slope of my two diagonals? What's the slopes of the two diagonals? No. So plus or minus 5 over 2, right? B over A, not B squared over A squared. Okay? B over A. So, one of my diagonals is y equals 5 halves x. One is y equals negative 5 halves x. Now I just got to come up with y-intercepts. Okay? So on this first diagonal right here, is this one has the positive slope or the negative slope? That's the positive slope, and that has a y-intercept of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, negative 8. So that equation is 5 halves x minus 8. The other one has the negative slope, and that one has a y-intercept of positive 2. Hmm? 1, 2. Because this one was nice. The side of my box was on the y-axis. Okay. Next step. Find the vertices. Because this is up down, I'm going to look at the top and the bottom of my box. I'm going to go at the midpoint of the top and the midpoint of the bottom. So that puts my vertices at 2, 2 and 2, negative 8.
Why do you go that way? Why do you put it that way?
Because those are my vertices. Okay. Now what can we do? We're through step 5. So now we can draw it. Oops, that was just bad all around up top. Did it again. Come on, shoulder, work for me this time. There we go. Okay. And what's left? Foci. Okay? So a squared plus b squared is? A squared plus b squared is 29. So c is square root of 29. So my two foci, because this is up and down, my two foci are located at the points 2, comma, negative 3 plus the square root of 29, and 2, comma, negative 3 minus the square root of 29. Okay? Now, if this were a quiz question on Friday, I would again do 2 points for the graph, half a point for everything over here, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half points per problem. Okay. So if there's 2 of them, that's 15 points right there on graph.
What is the foci?
The foci? The foci are, that's the 2 points. So here, let me put that foci actually on there. So what's the square root? It's a little bit more than 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So my foci are in tight here. Okay. Remember, the definition of a parabola was the black curve has the distance. So every point that's on the black curve, the distance is the same, is constant when I subtract the distances to each foci. Okay, so if I drew it here in, let me pick yellow. Okay, so if I pick this point right here, this distance right there, when subtracted, is the same as that distance when subtracted. Yep. 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 Okay. Ready to try one on your own? Go for it. Which way is this one open? Up and down. Where's the center? 0, 3. What's my A value? 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. Then what? B value? How much? 2. Draw it in. Oops, I missed. Oh. Okay. Draw my diagonals. Okay. What is the slope of my diagonals? Plus and minus? No. 2/7? Okay. Plus and minus 2/7. Okay. So, my two asymptotes are...
What's your
Exactly. Hey, just be thankful I'm not talking about lattice rectums.
darn near killed him?
Okay, what are my two asymptotes? Because both have y-intercepts of, of positive 3. Okay. Next. Vertices. Since it's up, down, there's one. There's the other. So I have a vertice at 0, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And 0, 1. Draw it in. I'll skip over that so that it... Now I should be able to do this. Order. Send to the back. There it goes. Don't act like you're not impressed. Actually, let's make it a little more transparent too. Properties. Let's make it a little bit. Object animation. No. Fill effects. Yep, I think so. Transparency. There we go. Okay. Magic. You should stop yelling at me. Okay. C value. Square root of 53. Which means my foci are going to be at 0, 3 plus the square root of 53 and 0, 3 minus the square root of 53. Square root of 53 is like 7, right? A little bit more than 7. 7.2. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.2. Okay. I think that's it. Questions on that one? Now, while you're doing this one, do it quietly so you don't wake Wesley up. Okay. Go for it. All right, opens. Left and right, right? Okay, center. The origin. Okay. A value. 7. Okay. 2
2, 4, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7.
B value.
2 square root of 6.
What?
4.9.
I like 2 square root of 6 better, but it is 4.9.
Okay. 2, 4.9. 2, 4.9. Draw in the box. Okay. Draw in your diagonals. Slope of my diagonals. Plus and minus. What? 2 square root of 6 over 7, right? Okay. So my asymptotes are what? Y equals 2 square roots of 6 over 7x. Is that it? Is that it? Yeah, because it goes through the origin, right? So that gives me a y-intercept of 0. And what's my other one? Negative of that. 4.9 over 7. I don't like decimals in fractions. Yeah. Okay. Vertices are where? Okay, because it's a left and a right one. So they're here and there, which are negative 7, comma 0 and 7, comma 0. C value. C value. Not 5. Square root of 73. Which puts my foci at where are my foci?
0, 0 plus 7 square root of 73. 0 plus 0 minus.
That would put my foci here and down here, right? Well, what's wrong with that? It's a left and a right one, right? Okay. So wouldn't my foci be at negative square root of 73, comma 0 and the square root of 73, comma 0? Which the square root of 73 is 8.5-ish, somewhere in that range. Puts it there and there.
So the foci are on the longest one again,
No,
or is it based on one of them?
it's based on up, down, left, right. What's up?
For the foci, if I was to write 0 plus the square root of 73, comma 0 on the test, would you mark it wrong?
Yeah, because I'm mean.
only because it's 0. You know what I mean? If it was 1, I wouldn't. But I don't know. It depends on Friday afternoon how I feel.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I forgot to draw it in.
Now we'll see if we can do this again. Properties. Fill effects.
Good? Okay. So, tomorrow you have a formative assessment in the Resource Center. And because in the last class I didn't have them printed off, there will also be, when you go in and take your formative, there will be another stack of the homework sheets for you. So it gives you extra added incentive to go in and take the formative.
Which
No,
one
you can
have?
have Mrs. Ernst grab one for you.
She-
Lazy